Good evening and good day, whatever time it is for you. I am thankful that you're here. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy February 14th. I've got some things I want to say about the day today. Curious to hear what y'all think about this day. What does this day mean to you? And I'm actually curious to hear from myself what this day means to me. Maddie in the house. Hey, Maddie. Maddie says, everybody watch out for Tara. It's Valentine's Day. And she is on I think it says loose. There's a heart in the way of the loose, ironically enough, a heart in the way of the loose. So I think it says, and she is on the loose and out of control. She is a man eater. I don't know about that, Maddie. I don't think I'm a man eater. I'll bet you there's people out there who would beg to differ, but I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I certainly don't want to hurt anybody. So, Maddie, I'm so glad you're here. If you're just joining, welcome in. Let me know who you are. Let me know what you think about today. It is Valentine's Day. There's no getting around it. That as it is a matter of fact. So I want to share a little bit about my experience of this February 14th because my family doesn't actually celebrate this holiday. If you've been following me for a while and you are around for the holidays that happen in November, December, you will know that my family doesn't celebrate those holidays either. So, as an adult now, and having celebrated these things as I grew up, like when I was a child, we celebrated all these holidays. And even as a young adult, I'm still a young adult, but in my early adulthood, we still celebrated these holidays. And it's an interesting thing to go through a transition where it's like you're so used to celebrating certain holidays. And then all of a sudden, all of that changes and now you don't celebrate anymore. If you can relate to this, feel free to let me know in the comments, or if you're watching the restream, let me know if you can relate to this, having celebrated before and then having all of that stopped. So Rev Rashim in the house. Hey, Rev says, happy Valentine's Day to one of the most beautiful women, Tara. That is very thoughtful, Rev. I really appreciate you saying that. That's really sweet. I appreciate your company this evening. It's so nice to see you. If you're just joining, please feel free to let us know who you are, what you think about this February 14th. Do you celebrate? What did you do today? How was your day? Okay, so I continue. I want to be clear with my perspective on this holiday and other holidays, and that is that I totally respect other people celebrating. I'm seeing the well wishes coming through and people saying happy Valentine's Day. I received several happy Valentine's Day texts today, which I'll be honest was nice to receive those. And I reciprocated. In terms of how I actually feel about the holiday, just going to be honest. And Mom, if you're watching, Papa, if you're watching, I love you. I respect your beliefs and your traditions. I don't know how I feel. I know you already know this. This is not news to you. I don't actually know how I feel about celebrating versus not celebrating this holiday and other holidays. Holidays are strange for me. I'll just be frank about that because I haven't really developed my own take on them. So when they come around, I feel a little bit like a fish out of water. Again, I used to celebrate. I was raised with the holidays, and then about 15 years ago or so, a little less than that, I think, we found out that we've got Jewish lineage. My family most closely celebrates and adheres to the Messianic Jewish belief system, although they're not religious. They don't identify with any religion, nor do I. I would say, if anything, I'm most closely Messianic Jewish. But in terms of the holidays, it's like, huh, how do I feel about this? Because I don't identify with any particular religion, and so how do I feel about it? I keep thinking with every holiday that passes that I'm going to get closer to figuring out how I feel about each holiday, and then each holiday comes, and I'm still not sure how I feel about the holidays. Artem in the house. Hey, Artem. Nice to see you as always. Artem says, your family is super cool for not celebrating holidays. I'd love to hear about how they came around to being like that. I really want to talk my family into also doing away with holidays. Cool, Artem. That's you're the first person to say I think that's super cool. Most people just look at me sideways and they're like, hmm, okay. And then they continue telling me about their plans for the holidays. And that's cool. Like I respect other people's plans. I can't say that I celebrate holidays per se, but around the holidays, I did go to a couple of um, holiday-ish parties. I'm really comfortable with calling them holiday parties. Um, I like that name. But like I said, I reciprocated some Valentine's Day wishes today when I received some text messages, and that felt good to me to reciprocate. Like um, I think it would be odd for me to not send something back or to say I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because that's not actually true. I haven't made a decision that I don't celebrate. So it's an interesting topic for sure. And Artem, I think, did I answer your question enough, Artem, about how my family came to not celebrating holidays? I kind of touched on that a little bit with we found out that my family had Jewish lineage and they started celebrating Jewish holidays and studying the Torah. We did away with Christmas and started celebrating Hanukkah and Passover. Again, the messianic variety, not the Orthodox variety. A lot of people don't know that there's a distinction there. So yeah, it's been a process over time. It wasn't just an abrupt like, oh, we're just not celebrating all holidays. It was a process. Like first it was Hanukkah and Passover and instead of Christmas and Easter, and then we stopped celebrating Thanksgiving, and now there's no Valentine's Day. Even Mother's Day and Father's Day are um, not celebrated in my family, although I do make phone calls. I do still call and I still do it, but they say, "No, we don't do that." And I'm like, "But I feel like I still need to call." Rev says, what qualities are you looking for in your future husband? Good question on this February 14th, Rev. I feel like I could go on and on and on about this. Actually, I have a list in this notebook this is not hard. These aren't hard requirements that I have. Let's see if I can find it. These aren't hard requirements that I have. These are just loose guidelines here it is, for the way I envision my future partner. I believe that'll be my husband. I do believe I'll get married. I say my future partner because I'm like, well, I don't know if we will get married. But I think I do want to get married. I'm pretty sure I want to get married to the right person. I think they'll want to put a ring on it. So this is what I wrote. It's not a long list, Rev, but to answer your question, I would love if they were equally educated as me. It doesn't have to be equal per se, but just a level of sameness, not too different, not too different. Um, but I mean, if they have a PhD, I certainly don't have a PhD. If they have a PhD and want to shack up with me, then I would welcome that. uh, okay, so um, either they have no addictions or they're in recovery and serious about their recovery. They're thoughtful, they're considerate, they're empathetic, they're non-narcissistic. And I want to put the disclaimer in here that I'm very well aware that narcissistic tendencies are healthy. They're like a certain level of narcissism is actually healthy, but to have, full blown narcissistic personality disorder or something similar, that would be too much for me to be able to handle. They are self supported, they have done the work. So either they come from a really healthy family and have healthy tendencies and traits and don't need to do the work, or they've done the work. They're in the process of um, working on themselves to become the best that they can be. There's attraction there. There's definitely got to be attraction. Like, I've heard it described as like when you meet the person, you'll just want to lick their face. And I can relate to that. Like, okay, if I meet a person and want to just lick their face, then I mean, there won't be any licking of faces in the beginning. Don't worry if you're out there somewhere watching right now. They're affectionate and romantic. So that's my list. Again, this is not a hard, fast checklist of exactly what this person has to be, but that's a list that my therapist helped me come up with. Someone that would be likely compatible if a significant number of those traits are ticked off. But it's not, again, it's not like a hard fast, like I'm going to go down this checklist and if they don't meet this criteria, they're out. That's not what that's all about. Rev says, I'm watching Sleepless in Seattle. I missed that comment, Rev. Right on. Right on. That's a good movie to watch on a February 14th. Hey, Ben. Welcome in. It's nice to see you, Ben. Ben says, is it R10? Is it R10? Are you talking about Sleepless in Seattle? What are you talking about, Ben? I need more information here. Do tell. Rev, hello, Ben, Proudly, and Matt. Proudly, I'm going to start calling you Proudly, Artem. Proudly says, hi, everyone. Yeah, and Proudly said, Ben, it's Artem. Yep, Proudly Ignorant is Artem, and we love him around here. Ben says, thanks, I was wondering. Maddie, looks like I'm checking all of her boxes. Do you check all the boxes, Maddie? I think anybody who checks all of those boxes is probably a wonderful person. And I'm really glad that you're here, Maddie. Happy February 14th. Oh, yeah, Maddie, good point. Ben, we decided to call Artem Artie a while back, and Artem is cool with that. So if you want to call Artem Artie, have at it. Ned, welcome in, Ned. It's nice to see you. Awakened by the Looking Glass reflection. I call her Ned for short, and she's cool with that too. That was actually, if you weren't here for that live stream, it was a couple live streams actually that I was calling Awakened by the Looking Glass. Ned, Awake Ned is what I was calling her. That's not what it is. It's actually Awakened, and her name is Mishya. I Let me know if I said that right, Mishya. I am hoping I'm saying that correctly. So Ned says, face licking? Boy, did I pop in at the right time. Right, Ned. Okay, so the question was, to give you some backstory. The question, the question was, what are you looking for in a future husband? And uh, conveniently enough, my therapist had me do this a while ago in this very notebook, where she had me write out a list of qualities that I would want in a partner, and um, open to face licking is one of them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Attraction was on the list though, and it made me think of that. Um, the you'll want to lick their face thing that I heard at one point. Kicking addiction in the house. Hey, Kevin, nice to see you, friend. It's always nice to see you in here. Happy February 14th. Maddie says, my face tastes like cherry chocolate ice cream, Tara. Right on. You know what, Maddie? This is going to sound pretty far out. I have been thinking about this is I realize how far out this sounds. I have been thinking about making sourdough ice cream. Does that sound far out or what? Like, I've never heard of this before. I had never heard of sourdough cookies either, to be frank. But uh, sourdough ice cream, is it possible? I think it is possible. How would it turn out? I don't know, but I like the cherry chocolate variety. I'm actually going to write that down, Maddie, because it sounds bomb. Even a cherry chocolate cookie if I can't pull out the ice cream, or pull off the ice cream. Kevin, how are you doing with everything? T, hope you're doing well. Kevin, I appreciate the question. I'm doing pretty well, I think, all things considered. And interestingly enough, my therapist had to cancel our session this week because of work. She had to show up for a court case for one of her clients. And so she had to cancel our session, which was supposed to be yesterday. And I really needed that session, but I'm doing okay. She's going to reschedule it. Um, Actually, though, I have some really exciting news to share, and your question just reminded me. I got the word today that I got approved. Well, I had gotten approved for my new place last week, but I got the word today that it passed. Well, I got word actually that it failed an inspection, and it has to be re-inspected. Like, they had to make some repairs and it has to be re-inspected, but like everything is a go. All systems are a go, to be redundant. And I'm going to be moving into a new place, maybe even as soon, like I might even be signing the lease tomorrow. So that's super exciting. So all things considered, like I'm hanging in there. It's truth be told, it's been an emotionally challenging week for me. I'll just be honest about that. If you saw the last live stream that I did, you will understand what I'm talking about. The What is Love live stream that I just did. It was a eventful stream. And that on top of other things, losing he was a close acquaintance, I would say. I lost a close acquaintance last week to a fentanyl overdose, and that was hard. It still is hard. His family cannot be reached, and we're trying to figure out how to contact people. All of it, they can't clear out his place until somebody is contacted and comes in and clears everything out and takes what they want. So it's like that's the whole thing, and it's really sad. So if you're struggling with addiction, you're in the right place. We're definitely here to support you. It has helped me so, it has changed my life getting help. And it is just truly tragic to see people that we care about having accidents and thinking they're going to be okay if they just do a little bit more. And it's truly tragic. So if you're working on overcoming addiction or mental health conditions, because there were both of those in my close acquaintances case, you're in the right place, and I commend you for doing the work. It is not for the faint of heart. Recovery is definitely not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of, in my experience, blood, sweat, tears to make it through the tough moments. But it's possible, and I am proof of that, as are other people in the chat. Kevin is proof of that. Heather is proof of that. Artem is proof of that. Everybody here. And hey, Heather, by the way, hey, nice to see you. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. So, Kevin, I hope that answered your question. The housing was a big piece too, like having that up in the air. And it's like, I've been approved, but I have to be approved by two separate entities. And I was approved by one, but not by the other. And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is nerve wracking. And then I got a nasty email from one of the entities last week. I was just like, I can't handle anything else, you know? So it's been a rough week, I'll be honest, but I have some really great support between family, friends, my therapist, the volunteer work I do. Like, I have a lot of great support systems in place, thank God. And that has really made a difference in going through this rough patch the past week. So I'm truly thankful for everyone. You, Kevin, you're a part of my support system, and I mean, you're showing up right now. It means a lot. Every piece of the system means a lot. Like, I show up for you all. It means a lot that you all show up for me too. So thank you so much for being a part of my support system. And I haven't said it yet, but I am a peer support specialist. I am certified to do peer support specialist work. I offer support to people in recovery from substance misuse and mental health conditions. Recovery of all walks. I've got people in this community who are in recovery from cults or shopping addiction, and you are all welcome here. Even if you're not in recovery, you're welcome here. This channel is for people in recovery, but like, everybody's welcome here. So if you're here for any reason at all, even if it's just to hang out and have some company, I'm so glad you're here. Ned says, LOL, I'll answer it proudly forever now. I'll answer it proudly forever now. And then she laughs. I think she's talking about the nickname Ned, like she'll answer to it. Please correct me if I'm not correct. Yeah, Artem says, glad to see you in here. Yep, it is nice to see you in here, Kevin. Thanks for being here. Perfecto. Okay, so I think I said Misha, correct? That's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that I said that right. Artem, Misha, Russian also? That's a common Russian name too. Okay. Yeah, Misha, what's the story behind your name? Please do tell. Kevin says, glad to see you as well, proudly. And I think he's saying Artem, he's addressing Artem calling him proudly. Everyone's calling you proudly tonight, Artem. Ben says, I like your therapist. I love my therapist, Ben. I've been seeing her for about a year now, and she has been a godsend, truly. We have worked through and processed so much garbage that I don't have to carry around anymore. And I think that it really made a huge difference this past week in my ability to process in the moment things that were coming at me. And I'm so thankful that I spent the time working with her the past year. I cannot imagine how I would have moved through this past week had I not spent the past year working with her. I know everybody has different thoughts about therapists, and some people are not all about it, and that's totally okay. Like, I respect that decision. For me, though, my relationship with my therapist has been like a lifeline. And it's ironic that one of the hardest weeks that I've had in a while that my therapist would have to reschedule our session, but I made it. I made it. And boy, do I have some stories to share with her when we meet next. Maddie, sourdough ice cream? Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. Bye, everyone. Bye. I think it might actually be really good, Maddie. So, any recipe that calls for flour can be made into a sourdough recipe. So, I'll bet you that ice cream, how is it iced cream or ice cream? I think based on the texture, like it might be possible. I don't know though. It might be a better bet just to make some gelato and call it a day. But you know what though? You know what I could make, Maddie, if you're still here. Rach in the house. Hey Rachel, nice to see you, girlfriend. Love you long time. This is my thought, Maddie. What about vanilla bean ice cream with sourdough uh, chocolate chip cookie dough in it? So, like, I make these chocolate chip sourdough cookies that are fire. They're so good. And I could make that edible chocolate chip cookie dough based on a process that you take the cookie dough through to make it edible raw. Then I could make uh, chocolate chip sourdough cookie dough ice cream. I think it's a great idea. Maddie, okay, I'm back, so we can continue now. Okay, good. So you heard my idea. What do you think about the sourdough cookie dough ice cream? I think it sounds fantastic. Oh, that would be so good, actually. I'm gonna write that down. Sourdough ice cream, cookie dough. I haven't actually made the edible cookie dough yet. I researched the process, so I am locked and loaded to be able to make it, but I haven't done it yet. Ben says, oh, sure, yeah, same with the X mill if you go through the government for a home loan, the ex military. I missed something. What did I miss? Ben, what do you mean by this? I missed something. Heather says, hi, Tara. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. Happy Valentine's. Right on, Heather. I'm so glad you're here too. How was school? Heather, did you have school today? Today's Wednesday. I believe you did have class today, but I'm not positive on that. How was it if you did, Heather? And if you didn't, how was your day anyway? Rachel says, I just came by to say happy Valentine's Day. I hope everyone's good and I'll be back as soon as I can. Right on, Rachel. It's always nice to see you roll through here. Oh, and really quickly, let's see. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with the Discord server, but there Rachel had posted a message that she was going to delete the server yesterday, and that I was going to start a new one, and that um, doesn't appear to be the case. I'm a little unclear, I'll be honest, about what is actually going to happen. Like if Rachel's going to keep the server and we're going to keep everything there, or if I'm going to take the server over. We talked about me taking the server over. Anything could happen, and I don't want to. It's like it's not over till it's over, right? It's not over until I get my apartment keys. And Rach, if you're still in here, I don't know if you are or not, but if you are still in here and you didn't hear, I got the approval about my place. I might actually sign the lease tomorrow, so that's super exciting. But I'm going to post a link here. So I just posted a link to the Discord. It seems like I am not going to be starting a new one, that we're just going to continue to use this one. And so the reason why this is important is have been having a meeting, a recovery meeting on Thursday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And it has been such a great meeting. It's kind of ebbed and flowed. It started out heavy recovery, kind of like an AA style recovery meeting in the beginning. And now it's morphed, and we've got a few new people in there that weren't in there in the beginning. And the people who were coming in the beginning aren't so much anymore. And so it's been like this interesting morphology that I've observed. And the meetings are not like AA at all. It's really kind of cool. It's like we'll talk and then comment on what the other people said. So it's not necessarily like you share and everybody listens and we go around in a circle. It's like we share and then we talk about it. Other people comment on it. That's just kind of the format that it's taking, and it's really, really different. It's really, really unique and cool. So if you care to join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, click that Discord link. There's also going to be some changes, I think, going on over there, just based on the potential change of ownership that's going to be happening. So stay tuned for that. We'll just have to see what happens with it. But I do believe that we're going to be meeting there at that link tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and it would be great to see you there. Yeah, Rach, it is great news. Thank you. I'm super excited. I can't believe it. And that's why I said it's like it's not over till it's over. You know what I mean? And like until I actually get the keys in my hand, I don't think it's going to seem like real. You know what I'm saying? Like until I sign the lease and get those keys, it doesn't feel real, but enjoy these white walls while you can, because I'm probably going to be in front of a different white wall very soon. I'm going to have to get internet hooked up, and I'm hoping that I can pull all of that off and not have any lapses, or that if I have to stream from my phone, that it's a successful stream. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do my best to keep everything consistent for y'all. It's important for me too. If for some reason I try to stream from my phone because my internet isn't set up yet and I lose signal, I do apologize ahead of time. I'm going to do the best I can to stay consistent for y'all. Ben says, yeah, that's rough finding family of someone who didn't talk about them much. You know what? I just realized that I might not be seeing all the comments. I wish that YouTube would show all the comments unless we changed it, because I probably missed some comments. I just modified it, so now I'll see everything. Rachel does try. Rachel, you do a great job. I don't know if you can hear this, friend, but I appreciate you and you do a great job as a moderator and as a friend. Maddie says, Ben, I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day. And then what's the next part? I don't want to play. I just want to bang on the drum all day, which doesn't really make sense because isn't banging on the drum playing? Who was that? Was that that wasn't Chumbawamba, was it? Anybody remember Chumbawamba? Maddie says, let's all give Tara a hug and a knuckle noogie. Right on, Maddie. I will take both of those things. If you want to give me a nice knuckle noogie, it'll give me some volume in my hair, which is always welcome. Volume is always nice. I especially like the hug part. Maddie says Misha Barton. Yeah, but it's not Misha. Her name, Ned's name is a little different. Ned pronounces her name like Missia, she said, but it's Misha. And I think I'm saying that right. She said perfecto. I don't know if she answered if it was Russian or not. I don't think so. I don't think so. Rachel says, or pie because I'm lazy and it's easy. Artem. What did Artem ask? Oh, PI for proudly ignorant, or PI because I'm lazy and it's easy. You're not lazy, Rach. You're managing like a million things, and I got mad respect for you. Which language is weird. I've got a lot of respect for you. I'm not mad at you. Yes, Rage, long time. Gosh, how far behind am I? 10 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. Artem says, I'm not sure what happened to my comment. Is the word Jewish not allowed? I was wondering if your parents avoid celebrating the Jewish holidays as well. Okay, Artem, that's good to know. I'm going to make a note of that because I actually imported a long list of words that could be considered as harmful to people, you know, the cuss words, F word, S word, and put them on the blocked list. Out of curiosity, Artem, did it block your entire comment or just one word? I don't actually know if Jewish is on that list or not, but I don't think Jewish needs to be on that list. So I'll check it. And if it is, I'll remove it. Thanks for letting me know that. Artem, I think I appreciate your question. I'm glad that you retyped it. I'm wondering if they're moving away. I don't believe that they celebrated Hanukkah this past year. I loosely observed it in sort of a nonchalant kind of way. But yes, my parents are now moving away towards celebrating the Jewish holidays as well. And even Passover, I kind of just like did Passover in my own kind of little special way last year. And they said, or my mom said that they might do something similar next year and not have it be so like by the book, play by play type thing, but like have it be based on their guidance from our higher power. So it's hard for me to answer that question because I don't think they've said adamantly that like no, we're not doing Jewish holidays anymore. I think they're loosely adhering to them, but differently than like when we first transitioned or when they first transitioned from Christmas to Hanukkah. Very interesting journey. Ben, sorry you're getting a new place. It's the same as if you're ex-military. Oh, that's what you were saying, Ben. Sorry, you're getting a new place. It's the same as if you're ex-military and go through the government for a home loan where it has to check off all the things on the list or it's denied. Yeah, exactly. I'm not ex-military, although sometimes people think that I am. I am not. And yeah, um, in this program where there's going to be multiple checks to make sure, and it did fail an inspection, a couple, nothing serious, a couple things need to be fixed, and then I think I'm signing the lease tomorrow. Right on, Rachel. Rachel says she's working on the transfer now. Okay, so it looks like I am the proud new mother of a Discord server and also a new place tomorrow, anyways. So lots of exciting stuff going on right now. I will definitely keep y'all posted on the Discord stuff, but contrary to what that message in the server said about the current server being deleted, that's not going to happen. We're just doing a transfer of ownership and I'm going to take it over. So I have never run a Discord server before, much like I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do here on YouTube. And we're just going to have to take it as it comes, roll with it. So if you've got things that you'd like to see either here on YouTube or over on Discord, I am totally open to feedback right now. I want to hear from you. Rachel was able to say S. I thought that word was blocked. That's okay. I don't mind that one's not blocked. There's some really choice words that are blocked now. I have a feeling Mikey in the house. Hey, Mikey, nice to see you, friend. I have a feeling there's going to be some people. Realist EDM in the house too. Hey, Realist, nice to see you. I have a feeling that y'all are going to be typing choice words in the chat now just to see if they're blocked or not. Ben says, oh, I thought the old Discord server was run by someone else, so I removed myself from it. Thanks for the clarification. Right on, Ben. Yeah, the Discord server link that I posted, and I will drop another link just in case you missed it and you want it. That was owned by Rachel. She's working on a transfer right now. She's going to transfer ownership to me. And I'm going to restructure things. I'm going to have there be an application process so that we can be aware of like who's in there. And yeah, it's going to take some work for me to figure out how to do all that stuff because I have no idea how to do all that stuff, but I'll figure it out. I have confidence in myself that I'll figure it out. And Ben, you're absolutely welcome to come back. No pressure, of course, but you're looking at the proud new owner of that Discord server. And I'm considering wiping everything clean just to get a fresh new start and going from there. Ben says, I gotta know, you're a support specialist. So do you ever talk shop with you and your therapist? I find I like discussing things like that, probably too much, like hypnosis, induction, etc. What is hypnosis induction? like 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 the process of inducing a hypnotic state, I'm guessing. Um, you know what, Ben? Sometimes we do talk shop. She's given me business advice before because she's an independent therapist and runs her own business. And so that's something that I aspire to do eventually. I'm not ready to do that today, but one day I would like to, I think, be an independent peer support specialist. And so we've definitely talked about that before. At one point, I thought I was going to start a cookie business, a sourdough cookie business. And we talked shop about that. And she gave me some business guidance and advice. And then after we had talked about it for a few weeks, I was like, I'd crunched the numbers and I was like, these are going to be some expensive cookies. And I don't think that I want to make cookies all day, every day. So I do it for fun. It's a hobby. People love them. And I enjoy doing peer support as a vocation for now. So I'm going to continue to get some experience, and I still have to pass my test so that I can bill Medi-Cal. I'm certified as a peer support specialist. I graduated from the course, got the certification, but I'm not yet capable of billing Medicaid because I have to pass that exam, and I have like 7 more months, I think, or 6 more months that I can take that exam. So I think I'm going to take it in March. So yeah, that was a long-winded way of saying, yes, we do talk shop, both about the old cookie business idea that I had and also the peer support route. Lately, we've been talking more about my stuff and processing things because a lot has come up lately for me, as you know. So there's the answer to your question. I love, also, just one more thing about my therapist. I love that she is also a businesswoman because she gives great guidance. You know, she has given me some priceless tips about systems to put into place and things to look out for with respect to both paths that I have expressed interest in. She's a great therapist. I agree with you, Ben. Maddie, I asked Tara to check out Like the Weather by 10,000 Maniacs, but did she ever do it? No. How would you know that, Maddie? How did you know that? I didn't. Actually, I forgot. I really did intend to, but this week has been a little crazy. I am going to look at that and I'll report back to you, Maddie. Thank you for reminding me. Like the Weather. I'm putting your name next to it, Maddie, so that it reminds me how important it is. Realist EDM. Hope y'all are all right. Thanks, Realist. That's very sweet of you. Realist EDM. Hope you weren't crying. Aw, that's sweet. I wasn't crying. Realist EDM. Actually, I haven't cried since this past weekend. I did tear up a little bit today, to be honest. It was, nothing related to the channel or anything like that. Just thinking about things a little bit, but no tears here. Just, yeah, everything's okay, Realist. I appreciate the sentiment. Rachel, I'm behind and trying to catch up. My internet is acting weird, but why don't we just plan on y'all can have the meeting there either way? But I should be able to change it so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, right on. Rachel, thank you for that. I appreciate that as well. I'm looking forward to being the proud new mommy of a Discord server. I'll be honest, it seems a little overwhelming to have to manage that along with YouTube and the Thursday night Discord meeting, but I'm up for it. It's like, I might as well just go for it. Rach, basically, I'm not in a rush, so I don't want anybody to not go to the meeting because I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. Go there, guys, go. Well, that reminds me of Inspector Gadget, like go Gadget Discord. They. I don't know where to go. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I appreciate that, Rach. Take your time. Take your time. I'm not trying to like be pushy whatsoever. In fact, it gives me an excuse to not be able to really dig in and figure things out. Like, I think I'm going to be signing a lease tomorrow. So everybody just be patient with the whole Discord transfer thing. Rach and I did talk about her transferring ownership, but I also want to give her space to like keep it if she wants. It's like, man, if I started a Discord server, I'd probably want to keep it and not give it up, but she doesn't seem to want it anymore and is going to transfer ownership. So I am looking forward to it. It's just, with anything new, there's like a learning curve, Oh, you know what? We haven't even got to the content. We're 51 minutes in, and I haven't even prompted y'all. I really want to hear what y'all have to say about this. So, um, self-love, self-love. I I'm really curious about what y'all do for self-love. It is February 14th, and I think personally focusing on self-love for me, I've had good luck with that today. Just being like, all right, I'm gonna take care of myself. And like self care has been a big part of my self love today. I'll get the conversation started with that. I think self care and self love are different, but I think self care is a part of self love. I also meditated today, and that felt really, really nice. I think that's self love. And I'm being of service to others. I moderated for Kicking Addictions channel, which is always a pleasure. And then um, I'm able to be here with y'all. Thank you for being here with me. I think we're being of service to one another by being here. And that feels like self love also. Showing up for you, showing up for myself. I've got some other things that I think are acts of self love. But before I exhaust my list, I want to hear from y'all on this February 14th. What do you do for self love for yourself? Or what's something that you might want to do if you've never done it, but you're like, you know what I've always wanted to do? I want to hear about it. Ben says Todd Rundgren. I want to bang on the drum all day. Okay, so it wasn't Chumbawamba. Aw, Rach, yeah, I definitely appreciate you. You do remember Chumbawamba? Right on. They sang that I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna get me down. Okay, so Mikey, hey, where is Ash Wednesday? Oh yeah, it is Ash Wednesday. That's right. I think that's why it's been slow. It's been pretty slow in the different lives that I've tuned into today. So Ash Wednesday, Valentine's Day, slow day. But I appreciate y'all for showing up. So Mikey says, hey, where's Ash Wednesday? Everybody that are Catholics, prayers to everybody that are in pain or going through a lot of things right now. I am. My shoulder is messed up and I have a pinched nerve. Tara, I think he was going to say surgery. I have a pinched nerve in my right side. Surgery they want me to get, but I'm getting a second opinion. Well, Mikey, I think that's a fantastic idea. I think it's awesome that you're working with medical care providers to get some professional help. Great work, friend. Keep up that hard work. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy to have pain. I was in excruciating pain with my teeth not long ago. One tooth in particular, I had a filling put in and my bite was off, and I'd never had a filling before, and so I just started popping ibuprofen thinking it was temporary soreness, but it turns out that I needed to have my filling adjusted, and the pain was just excruciating, so bad. The dentist was able to fix it, thank God, and it doesn't hurt at all anymore, but it was um, no fun to go through, especially when you get work done, you like think it's going to improve and then you end up in serious pain and not sure why. And I had never, they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me if I had pain to call them back. I just thought it was temporary, but it just kept getting worse. Working with the medical healthcare provider really was the only way that I could have fixed that. Time wouldn't have fixed nothing. I needed professional support. So I'm so happy that you're getting that, Mikey. You absolutely deserve it. And I'll be looking forward to hear more about your journey. I'm so glad that you were able to show up here tonight. And I just want to thank you for sharing your story with us. I'm sure um, that it helps other people to hear your story and to see your journey. Yeah, Rach hopes Mikey feels better soon. Rachel testing, and then she drops the S bomb. I could have swore I thought that was on there. Quite frankly, like, I don't care if people say that S word in here. I'm going to leave that one off and I'm going to get the Jewish one out of there because, like, my family, you know, is most closely related to the Messianic Jewish belief system. But I think SHIT is okay. Ben, oh, harmful words, disco, Rick Astley. Who's Rick Astley? Let's see if those trigger. I probably just dated myself, Ben. Damn. F. Oh, I thought those were on there. What the heck? Maybe it's because you're a moderator, Rach. It might be okay for you because you're a mod, because I'm pretty sure that I took the F word and the S word out. Damn, I don't know about that one. But maybe somebody else might want to test it that's not a moderator to see. Feel free to drop a S bomb or an F bomb just as a test if you want to. No pressure if you're not a mod. Mikey says, I read that one already. Rach, sorry, y'all. I'll quit acting out. No, I think it's an interesting experiment, Rach. If somebody else tests it out, we'll have the answer as to like if they're actually blocked or not. Because I swear those words were on the blocked list. Yeah, Rach says that sucks, Mikey. Hopefully you get some relief soon. I echo that, Rach. Miss Heather, join me in hitting the like button for Tara. Thanks, Miss Heather. That's a sweet thing to say. I wish that I could remember to say it. I only remember to say it if people mention it in the comments. So yes, it helps me out so much when you hit the like button. That's how we have new friends that find us. When y'all hit the like button, it prompts YouTube to then push this live stream out to other people and new people find us. And we love it when new people find us. At least I do. I guess I can't speak for y'all, but I like meeting new people. That's how Artem found us, and I'm so glad Artem is here. Yeah, Rach, the same. I forget too. Mikey, that the doctor touched my right side of the neck. I started feeling nauseous, dizzy, and headache. The shrink will get off Subutex slowly. If I need surgery, I tried to tell the orthopedic um, I asked him if Subutex gave me a reaction to the medicine they give me, and he was mad at me. So, time for a second opinion. I agree, Mikey. I think a second opinion can be really helpful. And finding someone that you really trust and who's experienced in the area that you're seeking support with is super important. I personally have had great luck calling my insurance and telling them exactly what I need. And then they give me a list of providers who could help me. And then I call them and I actually just see who I vibe with the best. That's how I make my decisions. I'm like, who was the nicest? Who got back to me fast? Like, who's been available? That's how I found my therapist. That's how I found my nurse practitioner. Yeah, those two. Maddie, Chumbawamba was kind of a communist group? Really? I didn't know that. Oh, my my oh man. I gotta answer this. It could be about housing. Hey, how's it going? I'm actually live right now on YouTube answering this phone call, just so you know, but you're not on speaker. Oh wait, you are on speaker. Okay, now you're not on speaker. Okay, right on. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Okay, he's gonna send me a text message. That could have been potential news about my housing, so I'll get it via text message. I didn't know that Chumbawamba communist group, Maddie. That makes me not. I was thinking about listening to that song, that um, tub thumping, tub thumping. But now I don't want to if they were commies. Heather, she always forgets to hit the like button too. But you remembered this time, Heather, and you reminded other people. I appreciate you. Maddie, wasn't Bang on the Drum by Todd Rundgren? Isn't that what Ben said too? Todd Rundgren? Yeah, because I wasn't sure. I think you're correct. I can't find the comment. I think you're right, Maddie. I think it was Todd Rundgren. I think Mikey's saying, "Hey, sweetie," to Rach. She is a sweetie, isn't she? She's my favorite sweetie. Ben says, "Yeah, man, I hope you're able to get." This is to Mikey. To Mikey, Ben says, "Man, I hope you're able to get relief soon. I know it's scary, but hey, if it makes you feel better." Agreed. Agreed. I know it can be really. I echo what Ben says. It can be really scary seeking medical care, but in Mikey's case, I think it's great that you're working with professionals. Yeah, Rach, maybe because you're a mod. Exactly. I haven't seen anybody else test it out. Maybe because they're blocked. I don't know. Corey Feldman in concert. Nope, that's not blocked. Talk about harmful, man. Yeah, and I'm not trying to like censor you. You know, I just don't want people coming in here calling people, like a see you next Tuesday or something like that. That word is definitely blocked. Mikey says, sorry, haven't been to Kevin kicking addiction lately. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I do taxes, still waiting on my SSI. I'm in so much pain and I'm scared of surgery. I think Kevin probably understands Mikey. I certainly don't want to speak for him, but I would imagine that he would be in full support of you taking care of yourself and doing what you got to do, Meng. Maddie says, Ben, he's the comeback king. Are you talking about that guy, Todd Rundgren? Is that who you're talking about, Maddie? Rebecca in the house. Hey, Rebecca. It's so nice to see you here. I'm so glad that you're here. Ben says exactly what induction is. Okay, so induction hypnosis is the process of inducing a hypnotic state. I've never talked about that with my therapist before, Ben, but I'd be interested to hear what her take is on it. I've just got so much other stuff that I need to process that I probably won't bring that up anytime soon. But I'm still going to make a note of it because I'm curious about the link between hypnosis and EMDR, which is a technique she uses with me every once in a while. We've done it about 6 times in the past year, and it's worked fantastic. Mikey, I tried. Oh, wait. I missed a comment from Ben. Okay, Ben says, not that I am a support specialist. I like to nerd out with neuroscience. College is too expensive, so audit courses, college texts, occasional online training, and work for a doctor helped. Wow, Ben, you are a very well-rounded individual. You know what? I don't know if you've heard, I have done some coursework on MIT Open Courseware before. I can't think of any other universities that have open courseware, but MIT has a plethora of courses that are on video and open to the public that might be helpful to you. Mikey, I tried that bull hypnosis before. They use that circle, they move it around in your eyes, and they say, calm, calm, calm. I paid $400. It was not worth it. Dang, Mikey. That's steep. The EMDR is included with my therapy. I don't have to pay anything extra for it. A holistic doctor, Mikey said. Okay, okay. Mikey, sorry for talking about myself, everybody. I hope you're all doing great. That's sweet of you, Mikey. You're welcome to talk to yourself. This is peer support, and we can't provide peer support without knowing what's going on with you. So you are welcome to tell us what's going on with you. Your updates are always welcome here. Maddie says, Tara, I watched the first few moments of your last live stream. I could tell your voice had a quiver in it. I would be surprised if it didn't, Maddie, based on everything that happened last week, because the live stream was just a small portion of everything that I was dealing with last week. So yeah, I would be surprised. I haven't rewatched it. I feel like I would cringe if I rewatched it, but yeah, I believe that it had a quiver in it at times. I'm okay with that. I didn't cry, so Ben says self-love tips. Okay, good. Awesome. We're to the self-love tips. Sweet. Now I lost it. Self-love tips from Ben. I saw forgive yourself, release the past, develop your spiritual qualities. Nice. I really like the forgive yourself piece. I like the whole thing. The spiritual qualities thing, that's definitely worth investing time in my opinion, my humble opinion. I dig that, Ben. Ben says, who's Rick Astley? I knew that I was going to catch some slack for that. Or flack. Catch some flack. Slack or flack? I think it's flack. Oh, bless you. Oh, how nice it would be to go through life and not know what it's like to get. Oh, Rickrolled. That's the Rickroll guy. Okay, I know who that is. I know who that is. I've been Rickrolled before. I'm definitely in the club. Rebecca, I'm struggling really bad today with long COVID. Oh no. My self love was taking a longer break around lunchtime, and tonight I will go to bed extra early. If I had the energy, I would so. Oh, Rebecca. Well, thank you for showing up tonight and spending some time with us on this February 14th. I am so sorry that you are dealing with long COVID. I tested positive for COVID a couple times when I was living in the shelters and had to quarantine for 12 days both times. Whew, that was not fun. Not fun. It was very lonely. Thank God I was able to bring my phone in there and talk to people. So hopefully this is helpful, being able to be here in a supportive environment that is a pretty pleasant vibe this evening. Is there anything that we can do to support you right now, Rebecca? I know we live in completely different places. I'm pretty sure you're in Minnesota, if I remember correctly, and I am in California. So it's not like I can bring you a basket of goodies or anything, but is there anything that we can do to support you right now? Ben's laughing at Maddie. Maddie has really great jokes. Rebecca says, Ben, LOL, it does date our age that we know who that is. I know what Rick Rolled is. I just didn't know what his last name is or was or is, you know. Doesn't he have a podcast or something now? I think I saw Dr. Andrew Huberman on it not long ago. And he's in recovery too, isn't he? Rick, whatever his last name is, I don't know, the Rickroll guy. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just can't find the comment. Maddie, for self love, I dress up as Donna Summer and sing. Uh, Love to love you, baby, in the mirror. Well, that's a really fun thing to imagine, Maddie, and I'll bet it's really fun for you to do it as well. I think it sounds like it's all in good fun, so you've got my stamp of approval. Not that it matters what I think, right? It doesn't matter what I think, but I'm glad you're here, Maddie. You add some really much needed comic relief to this stream, and I really like it. Mikey, you're the best. Tara and Kevin. Aw, thanks, Mikey. Again, I can't speak for Kevin, but I'm willing to bet that he would really appreciate hearing that from you. Rebecca says, another self-love thing is cuddling with my kitty while I listen to this. Well, that's really sweet, Rebecca. You know what? I don't actually have pets, and you were just joining, so you probably didn't hear. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting a new place. I might be signing my lease tomorrow if everything goes good. They had to make a few fixes because it failed the inspection, but they said it was nothing serious, just some minor things, and then I think we're doing the lease thing tomorrow. So unfortunately, I'm not able to have pets in my new place, which I have mixed feelings about. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Like, I'm just getting ready to start a normal job again and transition out of the whole Instacart thing, which I haven't had a boss since 2020. Even in 2020, I was independent and I didn't technically have a boss, but I had someone that I reported to essentially, even though I wasn't an employee. But yeah, I haven't had a boss in quite some time. So it's going to be a change reporting to someone again. But I know the person that I'm going to be reporting to. I've been volunteering for him for a year now. And I really like working with him. So I think he's going to be probably one of the best bosses I've ever had, because I've had some really great bosses before, had some real bad ones, but I've had a lot of really good ones. So, anyways, my point was just that I won't be able to get pets in this place, but I think it's wonderful that you have your kitty to cuddle with. That sounds nice. I'll just cuddle with y'all through the screen. You'll be my Valentine cuddle buddies this evening. If that's okay with you, that is. No pressure. Ben says, Rebecca, yes, sadly, some of us remember the screams that scars us deep inside. The screams? Was he like the first screamo guy or what? I've never heard those songs. Ben says, Rebecca, I'm sorry to hear about that. I didn't know you were still doing the long COVID thing. Yeah, the long COVID sounds like a real drag. Was that your beefcake on the phone? No, it's not my beefcake. He's actually someone. So he's technically a social worker. I call him my friend sometimes, but he's technically a social worker, and he helped me put together my security deposit for, like, he helped me find private funding for my security deposit. So he said he was going to send me a text. Okay. Nothing new. He did send it to me, but I actually already knew that. Okay. So no, not my beefcake. I don't actually have a beefcake, Ben. I like beef though, a lot. Artem, I'm just completely baffled by self-love. The concept just seems incomprehensible to me, but it's not like I dislike myself. I just don't get it. Okay, Artem, I want to know more about this. Is it something that you're curious about? Is it something that you like? Do you understand when other people talk about it, or is it like other people talk about it and you're like, I just I don't do that stuff? I'm curious as to what your take on it is. I mean, you say the concept is incomprehensible, so that kind of tells me the answer to that question. I guess my question to you is, are you curious about it, or you're just like, meh? Maddie, let's see if this word is permitted. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. That's very creative of you, Maddie, and I cannot believe that I was able to pronounce that on the first try, and I think I actually got it right. Probably because of all the hashtags I've read in my life. Rebecca, it's almost 2 years since I've got it. Wow, I did not know that long COVID could last that long. I thought long COVID was like 8 months or something like that max. Dang, Rebecca. Ben says, Artem, yeah, I can get that. It was so strange to me as well. About self-love. Okay, so Ben's relating to Artem, or as Rachel called Artem, PI, about the self-love. I've got some more things that I do for self-love that I'll share with you. Let's I want to get through some more of these comments and then we'll get to that. Maddie, Rick Astley. Astley is the name. Okay, Astley. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. See, I know the song. I know. Never gonna give. I know that song. Okay, Rebecca. Oh, I lost my spot. Darn it. I've been so good at not losing it. And there I go. Rebecca. Evenings like now are the worst for the hopeless, helpless long COVID feelings. It's almost 2 years and I struggle with feelings of it will always be this way. I'm doing lots of treatments, so it has gotten better from what it was even a year ago. It's just so slow and feeling a little down now from the fatigue. Must cuddle, fur baby, and bed early. Well, that sounds like a really healthy way to move through it, Rebecca. Just decompressing, having some uh, emotional bonding time with your kitten, and getting some rest sounds like a great way to love yourself on this February 14th, and also to heal from what you're experiencing right now. The Maybe I shouldn't have said the C word. I meant to block that one actually. The coof. I don't know. I want people. I mean, I want people to be able to. It's a hard one. I don't know what to do about that one. That's the other C word. I think, Rebecca, I want to relate to you in terms of the hopeless and helpless feelings. I I get those too sometimes living alone, especially at night. It seems to be the worst because I'm at home, people that are with their families, or if they have roommates, they're bonding and sharing sometimes pleasant experiences. I know they're not always pleasant experiences that are shared, but I live alone and I have for a very long time. And I also get those feelings of feeling down and, um, depressed. And all these self-love things that I wrote down, I'm realizing that they're also like coping mechanisms that I use when I'm feeling that way. Uh, you talked about identifying, well, not that you identify as a Buddhist, but that you like are influenced by that ideology. And a thing I have on my list, I don't think I talked about it, is meditation and prayer. For me, those kind of go hand in hand, but they're separate. Also, I do them separately. And do you meditate, Rebecca? I'm curious about that. Ben, thanks for the MIT courseware thing, Tara. I will look into that. I hope you enjoy it, Ben. I want to hear what you think about it. There is so much available for free. If I went back to school, I would love to go to MIT or Stanford. Stanford might be my number one choice, actually. But I don't know if I will ever go back to school. And it probably won't end up being Stanford if I do, but that's how I feel about it right now. Maybe I will. I don't know. My therapist thinks I'd make a good therapist. I don't know if I want to go back to school though. Artem, Rebecca, I feel like I've had long COVID for half my life since I was about 17. I seem to be overly susceptible to respiratory infections and just get them constantly. Ugh, oofta is what I have to say about that. And I'm not from Minnesota or Wisconsin, but oofta is what I have to say about that. It's a good thing, Artem, that you stopped smoking cigarettes. I'm wondering, I don't know if you're still stopped. A lot can happen in a week or a couple days or whatever, but you were stopped last week uh, when you shared with us. So thank God, or thank whatever higher power you want to, um, or not. Like there's no judgment here. Whatever your personal beliefs are, but I just think that it's wonderful that you're taking care of your health and doing things to improve it, being that you deal with respiratory issues. Artem says, I assumed it was from cigarettes. Okay, so I should have read the next comment, but I think it actually started before then because I wasn't smoking until I was 20. And it's been over a year now since I quit, and I'm still pretty sick. Mm, mm. Well, Artem, your self awareness is a strength. I think it's wonderful that you're so I'm about to be redundant, which I try not to be, but like you're so self aware of what you're going through and what you're dealing with here. And that I think is working for you really well. So hats off to you for acknowledging what you're dealing with. Corey Feldman is the comeback king, says Maddie. Where is Corey Feldman today? I wonder what he's doing. Todd Rundgren is from my area of Pennsylvania. Oh, Todd Rundgren is the guy who sang Bang on the Drum, I think, is what we established earlier. Rebecca says, Yep, I'm in Minnesota, just listening and lurking. This is nice, and I appreciate the community. Thank you all. I'm definitely feeling more subdued because of the fatigue. Well, it's a pleasure, Rebecca, and thanks for taking the time and the energy to type into the chat. You are welcome to lurk around here anytime, and I'm really glad that you're here. And I don't think that I ever typed it in the chat because I've been doing things like making cookies and stuff on Carol's Live, but I think your hair looks amazing. Rebecca just got a haircut, and I think it looks really good. Maddie, why do women hate that? See you next Tuesday. Why do we hate the see you next Tuesday word so much? Is it that bad? It's bad, Maddie. I think that's like the worst thing you could ever say to a woman, personally. Why, though? Why is your question? I don't know. It's like a stigma. It is an off limits word, in my humble opinion. Social, it's just a social norm that it's way out of the social norm. Maddie, I think Tara is cheating on me with that guy who called on the phone. This is terrible. Thanks a lot. And on Valentine's Day, no less. No, he's not my beefcake. He's not. Again, I love beef, but I am solo, happily solo for now. And happy February 14th to you. If you're just joining, I am happily single. I took a call by someone or from someone earlier because it could have been with respect to my housing, or it could have had something to do with my housing, but he is not my man. Artem says, Rebecca, do you feel persistent inflammation from it? Do you keep taking meds for it? I just take deep breaths while lying on the floor, and that makes it feel sustainable, but it never goes away. I appreciate that you're sharing what works for you, Artem. That's a really thoughtful thing to you to share your lived experience because you're trying to help someone. Ben says, "Oh my gosh, I bet. Yeah, being sick comes with feelings of hopelessness, as is long-term sickness. Wow, that's rough. It is. 2 years is a really long time to not feel good." But Rebecca, I would never know. Also, David Malton in the house. Hey, David, nice to see you. Rebecca, I would never know that you were that you had the long C word. I can't even say that and keep a straight face. The long coof. I call it the coof sometimes. I would never even know that you had that if you hadn't shared it. How did I get so behind in the comments? Ben says, Rebecca, oh my gosh, I bet ya. Yeah, being sick comes with feelings of hopelessness as it is. Long term sickness, wow, that's rough. Did I just read that one? I think I did. Ben, your thought was so thoughtful that I had to read it twice. Rebecca, yay, congratulations on getting the new place. Thank you, Rebecca. It does not feel quite real yet, but I am stoked for sure. My space is gonna like triple, if you can believe that. This is such amazing news. It is amazing news. I went without pets for 9.5 to 10 years. It's nice to have a pet cat now. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing, Rebecca. I could probably get a service dog. That's the route. That's definitely the route that I would go for. But I think I need to make some more progress in my recovery first before I would even want to commit to a service dog. I want a big boy though, a big dog, like maybe a golden retriever or a lab would be awesome. Someday, maybe. Heather says, Maddie, after hearing that, it's like when men square up. When the earrings come off, it's on. uh, I think you're talking about Maddie's upset about me and the alleged beefcake. But yeah, there's nothing going on there. Don't worry. It's funny, Heather, when the earrings come off. That's hilarious. Rebecca says, Artem, yes, it is persistent inflammation. We are working on the asthma and breathing as I now have permanent lung damage. We are trying new treatment of shots. Oh, well, Rebecca, that's wonderful that you're working with a medical healthcare professional on it. I think that's just great. I hope it gets better for you soon, Rebecca. 2 years is just so long. Ben says the screams of anguish and pain of Rick Astley. It scars you deep inside. Oh, poor Rick. Rick, if you ever see this, I love you, man. Rebecca, yes, DJ. Yes, DJ and I are happy to cuddle. DJ must be her kitty. So DJ and I are happy to cuddle with people. DJ is a lover and my favorite girl. Aw, that's so sweet. Maddie, Miss Heather, I don't think I quite understood that. Explain about the earring comment. Maddie says, I don't want Rachel to be Tara's favorite, sweetie. I want to be Tara's favorite. Well, Rachel is like my best friend. So, I mean, she's a tough act to follow. I don't know if you're still in here, Rach, but you have set the bar pretty high for all other friends. Rebecca, or Artem says, Rebecca, yikes, sounds worse than what I got. Wishing you well. Yeah, I me too, Rebecca. You're definitely in our thoughts and prayers if you're into that kind of thing. Maddie, I'm looking California but feeling Minnesota. Miss Heather, Maddie, about the see you next Tuesday. Oh, dang, we're talking about the see you next Tuesday again? Shoot. Look out. Maddie says, yes, Heather. Rebecca, Artem, me too. I've had chronic respiratory infections for years. The coof just pushed it over the edge to really bad. Ugh. Artem, Tara, yes, self love just seems like one of those false concepts of misleading common wisdom to me. Artem, you're so deep sometimes, it really amazes me. Artem says, he continues, like it's nothing but a buzzword. Self love is but a buzzword, says Artem, but I'm not opposed to hearing out other people's definitions. Okay, how far behind am I? Because I feel like that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was 15 minutes ago. Doing the best I can here. I just want to express some gratitude for everybody that's in this live stream right now. I'm going to be honest right now and say that just like Kevin said in his last stream, Kevin over at Kickin' Addiction, I follow him up on Wednesday nights and go live after him. He was saying how he was a little nervous about his stream based on things that he's seen happen. And I will be honest, I was a little nervous about tonight's stream too. And have this whole thing prepared about the recent drama that had been going on Monday in particular during the What is Love stream. And I had this whole thing that bullying is not something that we do around here. This is definitely I'm not into drama. Kevin said the same thing. This is not a drama channel. It's a peer support channel. We talk about recovery here. And again, like I said in the beginning, you do not have to be in recovery to be a part of this community. But I am just so happy that you found us. I'm so happy that you're here. And I am so appreciative of the vibe of tonight and that we're all getting along and that the people who showed up have showed up and that we're playing nicely. I think it's funny that we're playing with we're playing is this word blocked, and we still haven't got to the bottom of which words are actually blocked. Yeah, David, this says the C word. Yeah, we're talking about okay, so you're probably asking, how did this come up? So it came up because someone was asking a question about my family. My family most closely some of my family, not all, most closely identifies with Messianic Judaism. And someone asked a question and used the word Jewish, and it was blocked because I recently uploaded a list of choice words that could be viewed as hate speech. And YouTube takes the comment section seriously too, not just what the host says. And so I uploaded this list, and one of my moderators just started testing out who's also my best friend, by the way. She started testing out words, and they came up, words that I thought were blocked, the S word, the F word. I thought those were blocked, but she was able to type them. We thought maybe it was because she's a moderator, but I haven't seen anybody else successfully type any cuss words in. But I also haven't seen anybody say that they tried to do it. So anyways, that's how the other C word, not the great pandemic of 2020 C word, but the other C word came up. I hope it doesn't offend anybody. It's all in good fun. Maddie, I think you might be ready for a pet goldfish. This is a good point, Maddie, and it's actually not something I had considered, but I like that idea. I like that idea. I don't know if I'm gonna do it anytime soon, but I could see it happening before a dog. Or maybe just a pet rock, right. I have a few pet rocks already. Megan in the house. Hey Megan, nice to see you. Very nice to see you. How are you doing? Maddie, oh, I read that one already about the pet rock. Heather, I guess back in the day, once a woman said that to another woman, it would turn physical. I do not know why it cuts so deep, but it's a harsh word. Just my thoughts. Yeah, I agree. That word is off limits. If you pull that word out, you better be ready to throw down. I agree with you, Heather. Maddie, Tara, never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. You didn't think you'd get serenaded on this February 14th, did you, Maddie? Or wait, I think you were serenading me actually. We can serenade each other. David, long C word lasts a long time. That's why it's called long C word. I'm so confused about that term. It's like, are we allowed to say it? Are we not allowed to say it? What's the deal? What's the deal with the C word? David, higher power, it's all in the mind. That's a great comment, David. Aw, happy Valentine's Day to you, Megan. I'm so glad that you're here. Rebecca says, Artem, I hope you get better soon too. Hugs and support. You are so sweet, Rebecca. You are one of the sweetest souls that I've encountered in quite some time. And I just think you're a wonderful person. Yeah, Heather says, Megan, nice to see you. Heather, how you doing? Says Megan. Rebecca, thank you. The massive change in hair length is encouraging me to be bold and try making big changes in life and what I think I can do. Well, that's inspiring, Rebecca. I want to be bold and think I can do great things. I'm going to be focusing on moving the next week or so, and that's a big thing. Oh, Megan cooked herself a happy V-Day meal. That's nice, Megan. What'd you make, if I can ask? Sometimes I get tired of people asking me what I made, but I make good food. I know you do too. Yes, David, a service dog. Maybe. Maybe. Not yet. Not even close to soon, but someday. Heather says, right on. Sounds lovely. Hugs back at ya. Praveen in the house. Hey, Praveen, I didn't even see you sneak in. Praveen says, I was on Timothy Ward's live stream just now and saw you were live, Tara. So I'm now watching your live stream. Well, welcome in, Praveen. We are talking about what else today on this beautiful February 14th. It's turned into a talk about self-love. So if you've got some self-love techniques, tools, strategies that you have, I want to hear about them. I'm always looking to add new self-love techniques to the mix. And I have gone through a few of the self-love strategies that I outlined before this stream. I would be interested, like I said, to hear from you. And then before we end this, which, wow, we have been going for an hour and 45 minutes. already, and it has felt like just the snap of a finger. I'll tell you my other strategies before we end this tonight, but I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say about self love. Ben, could Rick be the beefcake? Um, I think Rick is a beefcake. I mean, if it's the same, I'm pretty sure that Rick Roll is the same guy as the guy who has the podcast. I mean, I would never want to pursue this guy in particular because he's got a family, right? But like, he's not an unattractive guy. Uh, I would even go as far as to say he's an attractive guy, but married men aren't my thing. So I think he's a beefcake. David, everybody loves a bit of Rick. There are much worse out there. There are, David, I agree with you. Praveen, I saw you on Timothy Ward's live stream yesterday. Yes, I was over there hanging out. I saw you too, Praveen. I hope you saw that I said, "What's up?" Oh, Praveen, that's so sweet. How do I super chat to your channel, Tara, if that's possible? You know what, Praveen? I don't have the ability to get super chats because you have to have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and I'm like halfway there or something like that. I think, um, yeah, I'm about halfway there. But man, I meant to paste my links into the chat. It's really nice of you, Praveen. I really appreciate that. I'll put my Venmo link in the chat if that's I don't know if you have Venmo. Um, and I'll put my Cash App. Certainly no pressure, but I'm trying to get better at allowing people to do that if they want. So if you're interested, those are my links down at the bottom. I don't even, it's like, I feel so uncomfortable saying that. I'm working on it. Thank you for asking that, Praveen. David says self love. It's like a Barnum statement, like having some restorative sleep. Oh, Barnum. Barnum. I was like, what is Barnum? Barnum statement. I always thought it was bar none, and I never understood that. Barnum. I'm gonna look up the word Barnum. What does that mean? Barnum, like moot? Does it mean like moot? Barnum. Honest, fair, straightforward, completely puzzling or perplexing, strictly required as by etiquette, usage, or fashion. Barnum. Completely puzzling, like having some restorative sleep. David, why is having some restorative sleep Barnum? Self love is Barnum's statement. Okay. Self love. Yes, like yeah, self love. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, other than like going over this list that I put together here of things that I do for self love. So far, we've talked about, I think, yeah, we talked about prayer and meditation is something that I do personally. Self care is a way that I show myself love. Service to others is a way that I show love. Although it's about others, it's also a way that I love myself, because if I didn't love myself, I wouldn't have it to give. And so I think service to others is a way. We'll talk about a couple more that I put down here. Uh, Listening to music is something that I listed. I personally think that listening to music for me is an act of self-love because I can just put something on that makes me feel good and jam out and forget that the world exists. Or sometimes, well, often, I will put music on when I do dishes. It's a way to love myself while doing something that I don't necessarily enjoy. Sometimes I like doing the dishes, but I usually don't. I've got a couple more, but I want to hear if y'all have anything else to say in terms of self-love, and then I'll share the other. I think I've got like two more. Yeah, that a couple more things to say that I haven't touched on yet. But let me get to these comments. Um, yeah, I didn't block any of those, right, Rebecca? I think it's because Rachel's a mod, and so Rachel was the one testing out the blocked words. But I don't. My I'm pretty sure I blocked out the words that she used. I'll be double checking just to make sure. But that's why I challenged other people who aren't moderators to drop an F bomb or something like that and see if they could. And then if they can't, then let me know, because I want to know if blocking those certain words worked, because YouTube doesn't like seeing that kind of stuff in the comments. So I want to be respectful of the platform. Oh, Artem says, I tried to type in the F word and I saw it on my end, but I don't think you or anyone else saw it. Okay, Artem, did it just block out the F word, or did it block out the entire comment, or was the entire comment the F word? Because, yeah, I did not see you drop an F bomb. Rebecca, proudly, Artem, did you just see my SH or FH or CU? If not, they were blocked. I see them in chat, but not sure if others see it. Okay, so y'all did test that out for me. Thank you so much. I didn't even see them. It doesn't even allow me to see them. Nope, did not see them. Tara, in regard to the drama thing, you are my flipping hero. Your composure was amazing. Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that very much. I think it was Maddie said my voice was quivering, which that's okay with me. The compliment, excuse me, the compliment about composure means a lot. It was the most challenging live stream that I have ever sat through. I cannot believe that I went for 3 hours. I cannot believe that I did not think to time anybody out. Um, Definitely didn't consider blocking because I was hoping that we'd be able to work things out. But tonight has been surprisingly smooth. And I do have a plan, just so you'll know. If something like what happened on the last stream, the What is Love stream, happens ever again, then I won't allow that to happen on my platform. In I want to protect myself, and I also want to protect y'all. And I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because of what I'm allowing here to happen. So that will hopefully never happen again. Ben, oh, I read that one. Artem, I just scrolled back and didn't see yours either. Right. So I think that's good to know. Moderators are able to use words that have been blocked, but if you're not a moderator, then you can't get through the blocked words. Rebecca, thank you. I really needed to hear the support tonight. Well, Rebecca, it's an absolute pleasure to show up for you. I said it before and I'll say it again. I so value your presence here and everyone who's here tonight. Thanks for showing up and for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. Artem, the word the word censor works. Praveen, do you have a rerun of your live stream last night, Tara? Oh yeah, it's available. It's from Monday, Praveen. It's the What is Love live stream. And one of two things. You're either not going to want to watch it at all, just in all honesty, or you're going to want to bring some popcorn. So if you're in for a ride and shock value, then go check it out. I don't know that I can recommend it though, but it was definitely interesting. Rebecca, you got this. Tara, moving is hard and stressful, but you're going to a great place. I am going to a great place. I'm so excited. It's such a cute little place. It's a second floor unit on the end, tucked back off the road. It's got a really long driveway that goes back to this building, and there's only four units in this building, so I'm really excited. It's like top notch. The oven is really old. That's the only thing. I was like, man, I need a good oven, but the oven is like 50s style. And some of my friends are like, you know what? The oven might actually be the best oven you've ever had because it's old school and it's gas. So we'll see. We'll see how the oven works. I think it has to be replaced if it doesn't work well. So maybe I'll get a brand new oven. But if this old school 50s style oven works wonders, then I will be super psyched. I'm super psyched anyway. It's the cutest little place with a bathtub. It has a bathtub. I haven't had a bathtub. I haven't had a place in 8 years, y'all. It's been 8. Well, I've lived in this place for a year, so that's not quite true, but I haven't had a bathtub in 8 years. I live in a building right now that has a shared kitchen. It's a little studio, and I have my own bathroom, but I have a shared kitchen with the building. So I have not had my own kitchen in 8 years because I lived in my car for 5 years and then lived in shelters for a couple of years. And then I've lived in this place for a year. So it's been 8 years. Mm-hmm. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Ben, yeah, I just typed the S word to you. I guess it did block. Okay. To you, not at you. Thanks for testing it out, everybody who did. I appreciate that. What actually is a service dog? Oh, okay, David. A service dog helps people with disabilities navigate their disability, like to exist in the world. So hopefully, I'm working on healing my disabilities. So hopefully, by the time I'm ready for a service dog, I won't actually have disabilities anymore. But people with depression, that's technically a disability. PTSD is technically a disability. So some people have anxiety, like very intense anxiety, and service dogs help some people feel really unsafe, especially if they have PTSD. So a service dog will stand behind you in public or they'll stand in front of you, however they're trained to protect you. They'll alert you if somebody starts approaching you. Some people benefit from having dogs sit on their chest and put pressure on it when they get very, very anxious. I'm not exactly sure. Whoops. I'm not exactly sure how I would want my service dog to be trained. Again, I'm working on like depression and PTSD do not have to be permanent diagnoses. When they are treated, they can be essentially eliminated. And so eventually I am working towards not meeting the mental health criteria that are required to have these diagnoses. But I hope that answers your question. So, a service dog or service animal in general is an animal that's trained to be able to help the owner navigate or cope with whatever condition it is that they have. Okay, so yes, we are successful with blocking words. Tandoori chicken, turmeric, rice, and yams. That sounds so good. Megan, you are an artiste in the kitchen. How did I get so behind? Oh, maybe I'm not that behind. Bear with me, I lost my spot again. Okay, I found it. Great. Self love for me is 99 change hands. Seems to work. 99 change hands. I'm lost, David. What do you mean by what's 99 change hands? Is this something that I should know what it is, but I don't because it might be? Rebecca, your support is helping me feel a little energized. One of my self love techniques is to set aside a couple hours a week as me time. I ask myself what I really want to do in that time and do that. Ooh, that sounds lovely, Rebecca. I've never thought to set aside some me time before. What a beautiful way to honor yourself. Wow, okay. Like it's never occurred to me to schedule in me time before. I'm writing that down. And I'm really glad that you're feeling a little more energized now. That makes me really happy. Megan says, self love to me is quality time to myself, a nice hike. What is self love to you? Okay, Megan. So far we've talked about, and I think you might have heard this already, but I'll just reiterate. So far, self love to me is prayer and meditation, listening to good music, practicing self care, service to others, which I know sounds a little bit contradictory, but it helps me feel really like I feel really good when I help other people. So, one that I haven't mentioned yet is volunteering. And I think this is tied into service to others, which is why I'm like dropping it right here. And then I've got a couple others that I haven't mentioned yet that I'll get to as we land the plane here, which I think we're coming up to. Megan dropped 3 F bombs. That's hilarious. Yeah, Megan, because you're a moderator and you can do that. I was surprised when I saw it and then I realized who it was. Megan, you're hilarious. Thank you for testing that out, love. So, volunteering, I think, is a really great way. Not only does it help others, but it helps me too when I donate my time and my energy to improving someone else's life. So that is on the heels of service to others. It's sort of the same thing. So that's what I've shared so far, Megan. I've got a few more that I want to share in summary with everything. Like when we get to the end, when I get through these comments, I'll share the last few things that I do to love myself. Rebecca, when stressed, the self love part is doing box breaths, doing a guided meditation, or just do it with some calm music. When trying to process things mentally, I journal. All self love. Right, Rebecca. Right. You'll like what I have to say then when we get to the closing if you're still around. Rebecca, yesterday my self love was doing a face mask I bought. That was relaxing, then added additional moisturizer and went to bed. Sleep is definitely self-love for me too. Ooh, that's a good one that I hadn't thought about, Rebecca. Sleep is a really good one. I'm just gonna write that down so that I have record of it because sometimes I forget to, like, I'll get talking to friends and it's so nice to connect with people that I care about. And if I do that enough days in a row late enough, then I start to notice it in my waking hours that I'm not getting enough sleep. And so I have to remember to do that. Rebecca, yesterday myself, oh, I read that already. Uh, Heather says, Rebecca, I agree with you. I listen to guided meditation to wind down before bed. Yeah, guided meditations are good. Yeah, Ben, mods can. That's what we learned tonight. Naughty privilege. Yep, Megan, you've got the naughty wrench. That sounds really like graphic. Megan, Ben, how are you? You changed your name. Ben changes his name, I think, weekly. I think it's like a hobby of his to change his name. It blocked out the entire comment. Okay. I also think it blocked some other comments that didn't have cuss words in them for no apparent reason. They got skipped. You didn't see them. Oh no, Artem, I'm so sorry. That's good to know. I'm gonna if that happens again, Artem, like how you communicated the Jewish thing to me, like I didn't realize that Jewish was on that list. It was a list of 500 words that I got from Reddit. And I thought, oh, these are really actually great. Like I don't want any of these words, but I didn't do a thorough, that's my mistake. I didn't do a thorough check and think about the word Jewish being used as, just to discuss my family, for example. So if that happens again, I want y'all to feel free to let me know, hey, this word, and just put a star in it, was blocked and I couldn't use it or whatever. Ben, not too bad. Because the reason I'm doing this, it's not to censor all of you. It's because I've had some trolls. A while ago, I had some trolls, and recently I've had some troll like behavior. And so I just wanted to protect myself, the channel, and you all from seeing things that would not be appropriate. Yeah, Ben says, not too bad. I hope you're well, Megan. I need to change it again, but I can't decide. Megan, yeah, you're going through the same thing we were going through. Can someone try to curse in a comment now? It usually will be held for review for the content creator or mod. I haven't seen any so far. Yeah, so Megan, what we learned tonight is that inappropriate comments that YouTube perceives as inappropriate will be held for review by a mod. But I actually programmed in a list of choice words that appeared to all be inappropriate. But I think I might have been a little too conservative with my list. There's some things I need to take out of there. So I need to revisit that and make sure that I've only got the really, really bad ones on there, like the see you next Tuesday. David figured out a loophole. Okay. Very creative, David. I like this one, but support the change. Yeah, Megan, the last live stream I had was unbelievable in terms of what happened there. The last one I did, it was titled "What Is Love," and it was truly shocking, unbelievable what happened in there. So I yesterday added a list of words that are now blocked. If you watch that stream, I would encourage you to read the comments as well, because I skipped over a lot of comments that were not appropriate. Rebecca says, Tara, agree. You came across as composed and calm. Please don't feel bad about Monday. We all have firsts, and I don't know that I would have known what to do either. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, I feel like if I could say this on YouTube, I'm not going to say that actually. I'm going to say, I agree. There's a first time for everything. And I never thought, I've had trolls come in and say political things before, but I've never had people that I thought were friends of mine come in and attack me like that. I never would have expected it in a million years. It was very, very surprising, but I appreciate all the positive feedback. And I really appreciated everyone that came to my defense and were communicating their discomfort and the level of inappropriateness, if that's even a word, of the situation. Thank you. I really appreciate you for showing up. And I know some people were just like, I don't even want anything to do with this, and they bailed or hung back. And that, I totally get that too. I have no idea how I would react if I was in someone's stream, and I personally don't like to get tied up in the drama. I get pretty quiet when stuff like that happens. So I just appreciate y'all for your support, for your understanding, and I truly apologize if it made anybody uncomfortable. I can't imagine that it didn't make you uncomfortable if you saw it. So thanks. Rebecca, I agree. The oven could be amazing. I know. Can't wait to use the oven. Second floor, Tara, you're stoked. Yep, Heather, I sure am. Second floor, end unit, baby. Oh, I lost my spot again. Jill in the house. Hey, Jill, nice to see you. Welcome in, friend. Ben says, yes, Tara, you can use that in the future to add to your toolbox of confidence. Thank you, Ben. Rebecca says, this move is going to be so amazing for you. Your own space is awesome. I'm excited for you too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Artem, did that come through? Nope. Nope. Do you want to type out what you wrote in code, Artem? I would welcome you to do that. I know that you're not a troll. So now that y'all know that there's certain blocked words, you'll have to be creative if you really want something to come through. David, okay, thank you for that. I thought a service dog was like a retired dog from the services. No, David, and you're welcome. Rebecca, Heather, do you have specific guided meditations you choose? I've done many unguided ones. I've also Googled them on YouTube. So Rebecca, I know you're asking Heather this, and I'm really interested to see what Heather has to say. I have had such good luck with Kelly Howell guided meditations. I used to pay $10 a pop for these things, and now they're free on YouTube and on Spotify. Kelly Howell, great stuff. She uses binaural beats along with her incredibly soothing voice, and it's just top notch in my opinion. Megan, a friend of mine has a service dog for depression, and they're so sweet together. Aw, that's nice. Ben says, Rebecca, I have 3 I use from a confidence reboot course. Rebecca, I have, guided meditations. that he uses from a confidence reboot course. Are you on the FB? The rest I have are on DVD, says Ben. Artem, okay, so is self love basically just doing enjoyable activities by yourself? Isn't that just the norm of well spent solitude? Why does it need to be a special term? Well, in to push back on that, Artem, isn't well spent solitude a special term? And I would say yes. If it's an activity that you enjoy, I think that's self love personally, but it doesn't have to be alone. That's my opinion because service work, volunteering isn't necessarily something that you do alone. All the volunteering that I do is spent with other people, but I consider that self love because it makes me feel good helping other people. Heather, Rebecca, yes, let's look them up. I listen to Doxy meditation on YouTube. Doxy, Doxy meditation on YouTube. At night, I listen to the Let Go one, and in the morning, I listen to the Protection meditation. Thank you for sharing that, Heather. I would love to check them out. YouTube for me is not a good place to find meditations because I don't pay for it. One day I might, um, once I start, increasing income. Hopefully, I'll be able to pay for YouTube to prevent the ads. But right now, I don't. And so when I try to do meditations or anything like that on YouTube, I get rudely interrupted and it doesn't work for me. So Spotify is where I listen to my guided meditations these days. David Malton. Self love as an actual man, 99 change hands. It's technically masturbating. I can't believe that word's allowed. The M word. I didn't even think about it before I said it. Okay. The man 99 change hands. Okay. I never would have known what the heck that was. Is that self love? I think it depends. I think it depends because if you've got like an addiction to it or something like that, I would say it's potentially harmful. It depends on what your viewpoint, it's like what's your what's your ideology? What's your like belief structure? Because some people think that that's not a good thing to engage in and some people think it's an okay thing to engage in or a healthy thing to engage in. Uh, so that depends. I think that depends. That's a. I'm about to make a very off-color joke, but I'm going to say it anyways. That's a loaded question. It could be okay. So Artem says there's words that aren't even cuss words that it blocks. I used the word snipe and aggressive. Okay, so I think it might have blocked the word aggressive. And I thought that might be a good thing. Like I remember seeing aggressive on the list, but I'm going to remove that one from the list. I think it's a little too restrictive. So I'm going to move regressive and snipe. What did you use the word snipe for, Artem? Do you want to retype your comment with the periods in there? Jill, TMI, David. Does Hebrew work? Yes, it sure does. I like how we're testing out the software now. Okay, so Megan, self love in conjunction with enjoyable activities to me is reconnecting with yourself, grounding yourself, caring for yourself too. What's our purpose? What are our goals? What are our passions? Well said, Megan. That is a great way to put what self love is. Praveen, just skimmed your live stream from Monday, Tara, and you definitely did a great job maintaining your composure through that. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you very much. Dan Jones has sleep stories, says Heather. Lauren Ostrowski Fenton is great for winding down anytime. Megan, Artem, thank you. I remember you from one of Tara's Thursday recovery meetings. Nice to see you, friend. So I'm going to post the link to that recovery meeting again, just in case anybody wants to join us and hasn't got that link yet. We meet on Thursdays at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time at this link right here. Everyone is invited. It is a recovery meeting, but not a conventional recovery meeting. We have a lot of fun. We talk about all kinds of different things, and it's more like a discussion. It's a structured discussion, but it's like we'll share and then we'll comment on what the other people shared. So it's different than a typical recovery meeting in that you're not just talking and going around in a circle like a typical recovery meeting. It's really actually very cool, very positive, usually uplifting. I was a little out of sorts last week and needed some support, which is totally welcome there too. You don't have to show up smiling. You know, I'm not always smiling. It takes me some coping mechanisms sometime to get there, as is evident from Monday's stream. But I like to always be working towards smiling. You know, that's always the goal, is to get there. Ben says Tara handled it like a rock star though, Megan. Thank you, Ben. Rebecca says, Heather, thank you for those great ideas. I need to change up the meditation stuff I listen to, so this is awesome. Jill, spending time outside is very relaxing. Okay, Jill, yes, I love spending time in nature too. And that's something I haven't been doing enough, truth be told. It's such a rejuvenating thing to go sit at the beach or to go sit by a tree. Megan, I'm so sorry this naughty wrench wasn't there to help out. I hope you're okay. That's all right, Megan. I'm glad you're here now. Now is all that exists, right? Yes, I typoed again. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Rebecca, what DVDs do you enjoy? Jill says you're looking well, Tara. Thank you, Jill. That's really a sweet thing for you to say on this February 14th. Ben's into Spidey DVDs right now. He's a mentalist. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, Rebecca has not heard of that either. Praveen, I'm switching between your live stream and Timothy Ward's live stream because I love both of yours. Right on, Praveen. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're getting ready to wind down here. Fixing to land the plane. So go ahead and buckle up, put your seat trays up, finish those waters, and the flight attendants will be around to pick them up. I want to get through these comments before we end anything, and I've got a couple of more ways that I personally show myself self-love before we end on this February 14th. Jill loves Peter Parker. David says, Ben Bang, I find his stuff too long-winded. I actually find him quite fudging annoying, actually. David has hacked the system. Oh, Ben's going to send Rebecca an audio. That's nice. Okay, so enjoying yourself in general is self-love. Yep, completely unnecessary fake buzzword confirmed. Um, I disagree. I think self-love because it's a term to describe enjoying yourself. And I don't always enjoy one of these last things, two of these last things. I don't always enjoy it. Also, to push back on you, Artem, not hard. I'm not going to knock you over or anything. Don't worry. Listening to music. I love listening to music. I have this Discover Weekly playlist on Spotify. And sometimes I have to listen to songs that I don't like to get to the ones that I do like. But I still would consider this an act of self love because I'm paving the way for myself to listen to things that I like later on. So, what do you think about that? David's not addicted to that. Okay. And thinks that it's healthy. It could be fully loaded. Right. Jill, TMI. Y'all are full. You're funny. Mm, okay. Artem says, I think it would be ideal to allow all words, but have mods manually snipe overly aggressive comments. Okay. Okay. I like that idea. I'm going to have to mull over this and see how I feel about it. I appreciate your feedback, Artem. I'm going to really think about that. I'm making a note. Let me think about it. Jill, go on, explain TMI. Megan, see you guys tomorrow. See you, Megan. It would be awesome to see you. I don't know if you're still here or not, but it would be really great to see you tomorrow. I agree. And it would be really great to see all of you tomorrow if you care to show up to the recovery meeting on Discord at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Jill, well, back in my day, TMI stood for too much information. Tara, is this Thursday Tomato still on Rachel's server, or is this a completely new link to a new server? Artem, so this link is to Rachel's server. I do not know if she's done the switchover yet. Originally she was going to shut down her server and I was going to start a new one, but she had the idea of just transferring ownership of the server to me, and it seems like that's what's going to actually happen. So I think she's working on it, and so it's the same server. You don't need the link R10 because you already have access to the server. So I hope to see you there tomorrow. I thought you were being cleverly naughty. No, too old for that. Never too old for that, says David. David, I find that Spidey dude annoying. He's like a poor man's Darren Brown, in my opinion. I don't know who any of these people are. Rebecca, Artem, not a completely fake buzzword, but I think self-love is similar to self-compassion. I tend to be kinder to others than myself, so self-love is doing those things for myself. I can relate to that, Rebecca, 100%. Sometimes it's easier to show up for other people than it is to show up for myself, but I don't show up as well for other people as when I show up for myself, if that makes sense. Jill, has anyone experienced pause? Jill, this is also a loaded question, in my opinion. Some people speculate that pause does not exist. I am not one of those people. I'm not suggesting that it doesn't. I feel that I did experience something that I thought was pause, but now looking back, I don't know that it was pause. I think it was actually underlying mental health issues that hadn't been addressed yet. So I can understand why some people think that it doesn't exist, but then I don't hear those people go on to talk about underlying mental health conditions that are untreated. So that's what I think about pause. Rebecca says, Ben, yes, I'm on the needing a meeting messenger. Okay. I've been wanting to get on that. I'm gonna write that down too, because I keep meaning to go over there and I haven't yet. David, Jill, pause. Yeah. Jill, congratulations on your 2 months clean. That is wonderful news. Carol over at Needing a Meeting puts a tiara on to celebrate people's time. And if I had a tiara, I would definitely give it to you, Jill. I don't, but I'm really, really proud of you. Keep up the hard work, girlfriend. Keep up the hard work. Jill says, I freak and don't sleep much. Hmm. It could be pause, Jill. I'm certainly not of the opinion that it exists or that it doesn't exist. You know, I think everyone's so different. So maybe it exists in some people, but not others. I'm open to that idea. It could be underlying medical or mental health issues too, Jill. Have you talked with a medical health professional or a mental health professional about these things? Artem, exactly. Self compassion is the term I like to use. Feels a lot more specific than self love. See, Artem, you're a pretty philosophical guy. I disagree with you on this one, respectfully, of course. I think self compassion is different from self love because, um, listening to music, for example, when I'm feeling some kind of way, I would say that's not self compassion. I would say that's self love or like a coping mechanism. Self compassion, I think, would be saying, okay, it's okay that I'm upset right now. I'm going to turn on some, not even that I'm going to turn on some music. I think that I'm going to turn on music is coping and self love, but that the self compassion will be like, it's okay that I'm flustered right now. I think they're separate. I think we need separate terms. Rebecca, I think you can use whatever word works for you. I say do you, whatever that is. Yes, I agree. Artem is a very deep philosophical thinker, so I can understand and appreciate where you're coming from, Artem. And Jill agrees with Rebecca. Yeah, yeah. So we're celebrating Jill's 2 months clean. It's awesome. It is awesome. Way to go, Jill. David's wearing his tiara right now. Okay, good. So someone's wearing a tiara for Jill. That's wonderful news. And Heather's celebrating Jill as well. Yeah, we're really happy for you, Jill. Seriously, I'll say it again. I really hope that you keep up the hard work, because 2 months is a long time and you deserve it. All right, folks. So we have come to the end of the comments section. I finally got caught up, but I did promise you a few more ways that I show myself self-love. So I'm going to follow through with that promise and tell you, after I read David's comment that says it's a tight-fitting tiara. Thank you for sharing that detail with us, David. That's good to know that it's a tight-fitting tiara. That's good to know. So you can do cartwheels and it won't fall off. Okay, so the other coping mechanisms that I wanted to pull out, remember I said, Rebecca, that you would really like this one because you mentioned journaling earlier, and that's what I wrote here. I wrote journaling, and oftentimes I will highlight themes that come up that I think need to be addressed, and I will bring that to my therapist. So I actually put therapy on here as a self-love technique. And Artem, this is also a good example. I didn't want to touch on this, but it's therapy. Now that I've mentioned this technique that I use, I'll add some color to what we were talking about a few minutes ago about how therapy is not always enjoyable for me. There are times where it is very enjoyable, but sometimes it's not. And so I think the enjoyable activities and self-love thing don't always, sometimes it's true, but sometimes I think they're different, because I show up to therapy every week because I do care about myself and I want to get better and prioritize my mental health so that I can feel better. So that's self-love, and so that my relationships can be as healthy as they possibly can be. And so to me, that's not only self-love, that's like allowing me to connect with other people too and improve my relationships. But I would put it in the self-love category for sure. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of things. I have one more thing on here, one more self-love strategy to tell you. So if y'all have any last minute comments, anything else that you want to talk about or share on this February 14th, speak now or forever hold your peace, because we are winding down here. We have basically landed the plane and now we're just waiting to pull into that final spot and go on our merry way this evening. So again, before I say this last strategy that I use for self-love, I want to mention the recovery meeting that's happening tomorrow. I know I've said it a million times, but people come and go. And if you're interested in a really fun, different kind of recovery meeting, go to the link, go to the Discord that I just shared the link to, and join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It would be great to see you there. And without further ado, let me go ahead and tell you about the last strategy I have for self-love here. So I wrote putting energy into positive relationships. And that might even be my favorite thing on this list, you know, whether it's family, friends, acquaintances, you know, like people that I meet on YouTube, or really close friends of mine that I talk to on a daily basis, or people that I talk to on a weekly basis. You know, I have a phone date with my sister every week. And actually this week we will have talked 2 times this week, and that's really, really nice. So I think that putting energy and this kind of goes along with what we were talking about. Artem is like, it doesn't have to be something that you do solo. It can be something that you do with other people. I think making time and space to cultivate positive relationships with people is an act of self-love. It takes work sometimes to have positive relationships, and sometimes things come up and we need to reconcile with people, and that's normal, that's healthy, you know. It's healthy to go through things like that with people, and it makes relationships stronger oftentimes. So that is my list of things that I personally do for self-love. They help me quite a bit, very similar to my coping strategy list. And I didn't think about that ahead of time, but these are a lot of the same things that I do when I'm struggling and having a hard time. So that's interesting to me that there's so much overlap there. It's like, wow, my self care um, and self love strategies are my coping mechanisms. Interesting. You're absolutely welcome. Ben said, thanks, Tara. Jill says, keep the faith. Jill says, happy V Day. David posts lots of hearts. I'm not sure what TTFN stands for. Artem, thanks for the stream, Tara. Join us tomorrow for some self-loving together. Wow, Artem, did we sway you to think that self-love deserves its own term? Or are you joking? Either one is acceptable. Heather, thank you, Tara. This feels like a comfortable space. I appreciate everyone's support, and I echo that 100%. This has been an awesome stream. I have enjoyed it a lot. It felt safe, and that makes me feel very at ease. So thank you very much. Ta-ta for now, says Ben. All right, everyone. Well, it has been a pleasure speaking with you all this evening, as always. I love you all so very much on this February 14th. Ben says, now go Rickroll yourself, your ornery things. Right on. So I do love you so much. Thanks again for showing up, and I will talk with you soon, I hope.